All right, a very big welcome to you, my awesome viewers and listeners from all over the world. It is my pleasure to host you once again on your number one political talk show, The Truth, with Ben Jokes. 2027, Peter Obi under PDP will defeat any candidate in the North, Jerry Ghana. Thank you so much, Professor Jerry Ghana, but no, sir. As far as we are concerned, PDP as we know it today is a party that is under the control of the APC. As an elder statesman, what he should be saying is Nigerians should vote Peter Obi regardless of the political party he eventually chooses to run under. We had reports that El Rufai is seriously marketing Peter Obi in northern Nigeria. That is what every normal Nigerian who wants a better nation should be doing right now, because we are looking at having a Nigeria where Muslims would happily and comfortably vote for a Christian, and where Christians will comfortably vote for a Muslim if he is the best man on the ballot, and vice versa. We want a Nigeria where the Hausas will happily and comfortably vote for an Igbo man if he is the best man on the ballot. This is the kind of Nigeria we are attempting to achieve in 2027, and I have absolutely no regrets being a part of this noble cause. Our nation is burning, the challenge is political, and we have been blessed with a politician that has the solutions. It will be a shame and an indictment on all of us if we let any form of sentiment get in the way. Now, let us look at the top story. Peter Obi sends Edo Governor Monday Ekpebolo into hiding as he storms Benin for Igbinidian's book launch. Recall that Edo Governor had threatened Peter Obi that if Obi does not inform him before visiting Edo thenceforth, that Obi's safety would not be guaranteed. But Peter Obi fired back, saying he would visit anytime he felt it was necessary. And on this occasion, he stormed Benin. And as he delivered an exceptional speech, Deputy Speaker Ben Kalu and SGF George Akume almost wept from where they sat, to the point that Ben Kalu's face, while Obi gave that sublime speech, became another talking point. And currently, a very terrible update came out of Katsina State. Before I show you details of these top stories and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this video. The TINUBU camp and APC governors are now quarreling over the spending of subsidy removal funds. See the video.
Yes, my sister, can I tell you something? There's no one government that can solve all the problems of a people, whether Nigeria, Lesotho, Kenya, wherever. There's no one government. Because, of course, you realize that we don't have all the revenue in the world. Nigeria was broke as at the time the president took over. So, there are too many things, there are too many issues that you raised. I tried to see if I can attend to them. That the president sent or deployed 60 appointees to attend the Arewa meeting is a mark of respect for the North. It's not a mark of weakness. I mean, if you say we have not done enough, let the people that are doing it come and tell you how much they have done. That's the essence. That's the language there. It's not a consequence of panic. No, not at all. Now, if you say that Gombe is saying that there's no federal presence, let the governor come and tell us what he's been doing with his federal allocation that has tripled, in the last 2 years. What federal presence does he want? He has an autonomy to be governor of a state. He's an executive governor of a state. Let him first of all come and tell us what the Gombe state, presence has been in Gombe. People make statements and they believe they play on the political naivety of the masses, believing that the masses are so poor. When they hear things like "we'll make life better for you," they jump at it. This is the game they are playing. This president is one of the most practical presidents we have ever had in this country. I'm not too young to know. I know practically all the presidents. I became an adult around some many years ago, so I can see and I can feel. I mean, there has been no government that has taken care of regional governments, state governments, more than Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done. None. in terms of resources, in terms of attention, in terms of emotional intelligence. You understand? So I don't expect any opposition to say good things about our government. No. But whatever they say, they must be mindful of the fact that, if they come on this seat, can they do better? Okay. Those are the kind of questions they should ask themselves.
Okay. You heard that. Now, the governor of Gombe State, Governor Muhammad Yahaya, fired at TINUBU, saying that there is no federal presence in Gombe State, and a member of the TINUBU camp in that interview fired back at the governor of Gombe State, saying that what has he been doing with the allocation they've been giving to him that has almost tripled. TINUBU removed fuel subsidy and Nigeria turned upside down. The economy became trash. Inflation was on the rise. But the excuse he gave was that he needed to remove the subsidy so that they will be giving more money to state governors, to lawmakers for constituency projects, and they will put money in education and other sectors. Now, governors whose allocations have tripled have nothing to show for all the money they have been collecting. The governors are now firing back at TINUBU, knowing that he is the one pocketing more than 50% of the subsidy removal fund. So at the end of the day, the subsidy removal experiment has failed. The people have now been thrown to the center. Governor is blaming TINUBU. TINUBU is blaming governor. Nobody has anything to show after over 2 years of subsidy removal. This is what happens when corruption reigns supreme. There is no strategy that you bring up. Corruption will eat it up. And of course, the governor of Gombe State, Muhammad Yahaya, is an APC governor. So this is an in-house fight. APC members, TINUBU and his cabinet sat down, removed fuel subsidy, and began to share the money amongst themselves. Now they can no longer account for all the subsidy removal funds that they have been sharing. What a disaster. The people are the ones at the receiving end. And this is why I keep telling Nigerians that we must come together, cast our sentiments aside, and get the APC out of power. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is that terrible one coming out of Katsina State, and next is that very big story coming out of Edo State. Peter Obi sends Edo State Governor Monday Okpebolo into hiding as he storms Benin, and then he delivered a sublime speech that had Ben Kalu and SGF George Akume almost in tears. Let's start by taking that update from Katsina State. Look at how the papers reported it. Rampaging bandits kill at least 130 policemen, soldiers, community guards in Katsina. The Katsina government said over 100 personnel of the state-owned security outfit, Community Watch Corps, have been killed by armed bandits. The Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Nasir Muazu, disclosed this in a statement on Monday. He said more than 30 police officers have also paid the ultimate price, and several soldiers lost their lives in the line of duty. These heroes deserve our respect, not social media mockery. Their sacrifices reflect the seriousness and commitment of both the government and the security architecture. It must also be acknowledged that the government, through the Office of the Special Advisor on Banditry and Internal Security, provides support to victims, rescued persons, and families of fallen heroes, he said. And this tweet by Henry says, "This here is a tragedy, and it doesn't look like it is going to end anytime. Remove the incompetent people in power so that those that can do the job will come in." It is as simple as that. God forbid that we mock the fallen heroes. From time to time here, I talk about how police officers and soldiers are poorly paid in Nigeria, how they deserve more for the sacrifices that they have put in. But we also talk about how we can come together to set this country right. What we are saying is that these government, the APC government, does not care about these heroes. That is why we believe strongly that for us to nip insecurity in the bud, we must get the APC out of power, and all hands must be on deck to achieve this. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to this, that update, that video from Edo State began making the rounds. Peter Obi stormed Benin and he delivered a sublime speech that had Ben Kalu and SGF George Akume in shock. See the video.
We live in a country that don't celebrate those who are supposed to be celebrated. If we do, the celebration would have been more. Who is representing Ministry of Education here? He built the first university. Who is representing Ministry of Transport? He did the first airline. It was among the first 3 to be given banking licenses, private banking licenses. I'm in that industry, so I know when they built banking industry. It did a lot in education, employing people, 17,000 people. Nigeria today, if we had been a country that is productive, over 120 million people would have been employed. That means one person is employing 17,000. So we need about 8,000 industries to be able to do that. But we have about 1,000 functional industries. That's why we have unemployment. So he needs more than this celebration. And I plead with SGF. I know you're going to do more. But now that we have an opportunity, we have to change the way we honor people. The GCFR and GCON should be people who are entrepreneurial and productive, not us, the politicians. If they like, they can remove our own and give them so that the country can produce and be able to employ people. Ibedo deserves more, not just national honor, all the support government can give him. And that's what we need to be celebrating, so that more people can go into entrepreneurship, support education, support what he did. That is a great work, and I'm sure you will do your own to be able to advise accordingly, and so that in the next few days, maybe, yes, we'll be hearing things different. I thank you. You won't look for me when you talk about the education. The rest assured that from today, endowment is not paid in one day. Endowment continues. And I assure you that annually, the endowment fund will see Mr. Peter Obi's little contribution. At least for the next 10 years, as long as I live. Because what he did is a great thing. Because of him today, in my village, in every village in Nigeria, if you have a means of solving transport, it's called Okada. What more did we need? He deserves more than we are celebrating here. Let us celebrate him. May God continue to bless your family, bless all of us that are gathered here. Thank you.
Wow, what a speech at Igbinidion book launch. Obi said the man built the first university, yet there is nobody from the Ministry of Education to honor the book launch. He said he built the first airline, yet there is nobody from the Ministry of Transport to honor the book launch. That was a total decimation of the TINUBU regime and the representatives he sent for that occasion. You don't just send representatives to an occasion for sending sake. As a government, you have to send the most relevant officials. And look at how he broke down the figures surrounding productivity. He said we have only about 1,000 productive industries in Nigeria when we need about 8,000 to employ the right number. And of course, he made an annual commitment for the next 10 years at least. What a man. And then Deputy Speaker Ben Kalu just sat there thinking about his life. He and George Akume. Ben Kalu was just thinking about his life, knowing fully well he will never be able to lace Peter Obi's shoes in terms of influence in Nigeria and all across the world. And of course, the governor of Edo State, Monday Ekpebelo, was nowhere to be found. I'm sure he was not invited because this is a book launch and he knows nothing about books. They now call him the D7 governor. And for those who think that the event held in Abuja, no, it actually held in Benin. I will show you the written proof that it held in Benin after we take some of these tweet reactions to Peter Obi's speech. Tweet here by Moduroti Dada says, Tegwolo no dey town, abi governor dey sabbatical leave, where a carry head like Ozubala, they threaten Obi, your rice no go down, walai. And Generation here says, I don't envy Ben Kalu. In that moment, he doesn't know what to do with himself. My God, Peter Obi, the pepper. I am telling you. And this tweet here says, Peter Obi is who he says he is. Imagine making an annual contribution for the next 10 years. This is massive, very massive. And then somebody put up a picture of Ben Kalu's face. Just look at the face he made while Peter Obi was making that speech. This shows serious pain and confusion. Wow. And Paul says the cameraman did the Abia man and the Benue man dirty. That is referring to Ben Kalu and George Akume. The cameraman really did them dirty. They just look at that face. Wow. And this tweet here says, see how Ben Kalu is so uncomfortable as PO is dishing out uncomfortable truth. That is it. And Oluwayo says, so the D7 governor cannot order his arrest or send thugs to beat him up. Now, wow, I think saying be governor and Peter Obi should not come to Edo without his approval. Ozuo, that is it. He can never try anything close to Peter Obi. And of course, the event actually held in Benin, as recorded here. He says, the House of Igbinidion today launched the Chronicles of a Legend, a new book chronicling the life and enduring legacy of Chief Gabriel Osawaru Igbinidion, the Esama of the Benin Kingdom. The event, held in Benin City, drew dignitaries from across Nigeria, including former Senate President Bukola Saraki, former Delta State Governor James Ibori, former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi, and the Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero. Anyway, make I leave am here. Make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here. So, don't go away.